Antimicrobials have an important role in food production because they're important in the production of livestock, in the production of fish in aquaculture. They're important in the treatment of disease in animals and making sure that we grow animals in a healthy manner and provide them with appropriate welfare. Unfortunately, we have many incidents where there is overuse or excessive use of antimicrobials in food production or in livestock production. And in this case, in some countries we see antimicrobials being used as growth promoters because they're considered to improve the rate at which the animal grows by minimizing the risk of infection and improving the uptake of the food that they have consumed. Antimicrobial resistance is an important issue for food safety. The presence of these antimicrobial resistant organisms within our food supply means that people can be exposed to antimicrobial resistant pathogens through the food that they eat. And these pathogens can make people sick. And if they're resistant to antimicrobials, the current medicines that we have may not be adequate to treat those illnesses. Furthermore, if non-pathogenic microorganisms within the food supply chain are resistant to antimicrobials, they're contributing to the wider reservoir of antimicrobial resistance. These days, we have a global food supply and food moves around the world. So the presence of any antimicrobial resistant organisms in this food means that it's being transmitted from one country to another, and ultimately this can contribute to the development of increased resistance among pathogenic organisms. Within FAO, many units, including the Unit on Food Safety, are taking very active measures to support countries in addressing the problem of AMR. From a food safety perspective, good hygienic practices, which are essential for food safety, are also key to addressing antimicrobial resistance. The challenge for many countries is that they still have weak and fragmented food control systems, and this makes it difficult for them to implement good practices, to oversee their systems through good monitoring and surveillance, and ensure that they're meeting the necessary standards to avoid development and transmission of antimicrobial resistance. The Codex Alimentarius has developed a number of standards to support national food control authorities in their efforts to manage antimicrobial resistance. And even this year, Codex has established a new task force to revise these standards and ensure that we continue to provide countries with the necessary international standards to support their local work in terms of development of legislation and implementation of guidance and good practices to address antimicrobial resistance.